mother demanded that I hand over my inheritance money to my half-sister, but she was livid and went nuts when I took all my pennies and dropped them in her hand. My parents divorced when I was 10, and I'm now 20 because my dad found out she was cheating when she told him my brother and sister weren't his. When asked for her reason for cheating, she said that she found a man who could give her a high life, unlike my dad, a farmer trying his best to maintain a family while managing my grandfather's farm. When discussing custody over me in court, my mom said she wanted nothing to do with me and left my dad with full custody, while she took my brother and sister with her and then married her side piece a month after everything was finalized. Of course, with the rise of social media, she only includes me in family photos to make herself look good, even though she tosses me to the side afterward. I don't even have a relationship with my siblings because they look down on me for classist reasons. Now, we'll go on with the show. It was about 7:30 in the morning. I was feeding cattle and having a jam session when my dad came to the feedlot to tell me someone was coming to see me. I asked him who it was, but I didn't need him to answer once I saw the angry look on his face as he threw a cigarette he had failed to light. I hop off the tractor and walk around the farmyard until I spot a brand new Porsche with my mother in the driver's seat. To describe what she looks like, imagine someone did a shitty job doing James Charles and Jeffree Star's heaviest makeup routine simultaneously, a Karen haircut with only the blondest of highlights, and a spray-on tan that would make Trump look pale. I often wonder if she'll ever do a face reveal so the world can see the hunk of Swiss cheese under all that. I walk up to her car and politely say hello before she wrinkles her nose and looks disgusted at me. She said, "Don't you have anything better to wear besides those filthy rags and take that wad of chewing tobacco out of your mouth? I'm embarrassed that you're my son looking like that." I said, these are work clothes, and I was working, and I just put this shawl and it ain't even kicked in yet. What do you want?" She looked me up and down with a disgusted look again before speaking. "Mother, I need to ask you a favor. It's rather important." The only thought going through my head was, she's part of a cult and needs me to be a blood sacrifice at tonight's meeting. I asked what it was. She said, "See, your sister will be graduating this year, and I think it would only be fair if you gave her the money your grandfather left you since you don't need it." I know what she's after now. My grandpa had put aside $25,000 for each grandchild that, once they turn 18, they can use for college or buying a car. The only catch was you needed to either graduate high school or obtain a GED. Why would she want this money? Well, after the divorce, she had asked my grandpa that not only should her kids, my brother and sister, still get the money, but also he needed to beef it up a few grand. Out of spite, my grandpa took the money originally meant for them, put it all in mine, and told her only his actual grandkids could get the money. When he passed away, my dad added some of his inheritance to it, so when I graduated, I ended up with $93,000. I have since spent $27,000 on a tractor and put the rest in savings. Me. Why would I give her any of my money? She doesn't even speak to me anymore. She said, "Because it would be only fair since your grandpa denied her that money that she deserves since she'll be attending college. Unlike you, as her big brother, you need to be responsible. That money was left to me for me to use on what I wish. If she wants it, she needs to ask me herself instead of you telling me to do so." Mom said, "She doesn't need to ask you. I shouldn't be asking you either, but since your grandfather was an a-hole and you weren't caring enough to hand it over before, here I am. Aren't you guys paying for her college? So why must I give her some?" She replied, "Well, I'm paying for tuition and housing, but she'll need spending money as she shouldn't be working a low-level job to have money for fun." I told her, "Then give her spending money too." She said, "But I'll already be spending a lot as college is expensive. Won't you do this for her?" I said, "No, I won't. When has something been too expensive for you? Make your side piece work harder like you did when you wanted something big and flashy." Angry, she said, "How dare you speak to me like that? I'm your mother, and you should be thankful I gave birth to you. Even a little bit will help." An idea came to mind. I falsely apologized to her and said she was right. I should give her something. I told her I would run to my truck and grab the checkbook, and off I went. Once at my truck, I dug through the cup holders for pennies. Every little bit helps, right? Once I've gathered 20 pennies, I walk back and tell her to hold her hand out and drop them in with a smile. "What's this?" she said. "You said a little bit could help a lot, didn't you? So I thought you could have that." I shield my eyes from the harsh glare of the sun. When she goes quiet, I hear my dad yell out from somewhere. Mother said, "Fuck you, and you will give your sister what she deserves." I told her, "When you do a face reveal, I will." She told me to go fuck myself and sped off, and that was the end of it. That's all for this episode, folks. Until next time, remember to pick up your popcorn containers and leave the theater orderly.